Hello guys, this is Kudo, and today in this video will be a mini series about API. So I already make a video on how to use API, so a basic way using a Disney API. In this mini project, we'll see how you can use it to create an encyclopedia with the Disney character. So basically, we'll be able to search the character to download the image and apply it on it, how you can navigate between the page, between the research, and how you can use API. Also, we'll see some concept, how to make an architecture and how to make proper code. And even if you're not interested in the API, you should stay for the architecture and how the thing I will put in place to make everything communicate correctly. So let's get into it. So in this first part of this video, I will set up the scene. So let's, for this, so create, so basically all the UI. So let's create, for example, an image. Okay. And in this image, will represent my background. So let's call it, so background like this. And what I want to do in this background, so also in this canvas, let's put not consist pixel size, but scale with screen size. So 920 by 1080 like this. And for the background, what I want to do, I want to stretch it like this, okay? What I also want, I don't want a white color, I want something blue. So let's change it. So maybe put, so I already got the code, so 52, 75, and 100, something blue like this. And also what I want to do, because I don't want to have all the UI inside my canvas, I want to have all the UI inside a content. So let's create an empty game object, and this empty game object, let's name it so content, and this will basically contain all my UI. So let's drag and drop our content inside the background and make sure for the content to be stretched at the maximum like this. And okay, and also restretch it like that. Okay, so now I already got basically a background. So let's create a title for creating my encyclopedia. So let's create for this a UI, so UI and Text Mesh Pro. So for the Text Mesh Pro, maybe put something like maybe 700 by 200 like this, and make sure to have a good size, so maybe 70. Let's center everything like that, and for let's rename the text, so title, okay, and make the title upper over there, and maybe at the position of minus 75 like this. So like that, we got a good title. Also, what I want to do, I want to change the font because we are in Disney World, and I want to add the font. So let's add another font. I already downloaded the asset font. So let's add the Pacifico regular like this. And we got a pretty good font. So if you want to download the font, you should go on the GitLab and you can download it. And for the title, let's call it Disney. So Disney Encyclopedia, like this. So right, so we make a title. So right, what I will need to do, I will also need to create an input field. So let's create a UI input field. So input field like this. So for the input field, also I will need to have a good width. So maybe 800 by 100 like this size. Okay, so let's rename this so search bar. So search bar. Okay. And also what I want to do, I want basically to change the font asset. So let me change the font asset, and for the font asset I will use another font I download. So let's add the Sevilla regular like this. So again, if you want to download it, you got the GitLab to download everything. And also what I want to do for the Text Mesh Pro, so I will need to change the size of the text. So to be able to change the size of the text, what I will need to do, I will need to go on the text and let's change it so to not 14 but something like 50. Okay, and I need to change also the placeholder, so let's put it on 50, and let's also make this over there, and let's also change this to Sevilla, like that. And what we want to create on the placeholder, so let's rename it, so not enter text but enter Disney character. So character name. Okay. So basically the search bar I will put it, so change it like this. So yeah, something like that, maybe 300. Like that, when I will type the name of the character, it should allow me to see all the character I want. Also, what I want to create, so after create the search bar, I will need to create a search button. So let's create UI button like this. And for this button, what I want to do, so I want to also change something. So maybe put on the position, so put 500 by 300. And for the width, let's put 100 by 100, like that it's square. And I want to change the basically the icon, just drag and drop this over there. And also I want to remove the text mesh pro because I don't need it. And also let's rename this, so not button but search button, like that. We can just press it to search our character. It will be very nice. Also, what I will need to create, so for me, let's create another thing in the content, so UI, and let's create a panel like this. And for the panel, what I want to do, I want to center everything because it will be nicer. For the size, let's put 1725 by 600, like that. And for the position, maybe -100. And like that, we got a panel to be able to cover everything we want. Also, in this panel, what I want to add a grid layout. So let's add component. So let's add the grid layout. So basically, a grid layout allow me to make a grid inside the panel. And for the cell size, so let's put 280 by 280. On the padding, I want to put 20. And I want to make some constraint. So on the constraint, I will put a maximum of fixed column, and not 2, but 6. Also, what I want to do, on the top, I want to put also 20. Like that, when I will be able to create our character profile picture, it will be very nice. Also, what I want to show you, so let me, for example, drag and drop. So let's go over there. So prefab, because I already create a prefab. So I was already make a video about it. So no, and basically, when I will add my character, it will add the character over there with the profile picture and basically the name of the character under. So last thing to do for setting up the scene, what I want to create, I want to also create a possibility to navigate between the page when I will be able to have the possibility to change the page on some research. So let's create for this, so let's create a UI, maybe an empty game object. So let's call this empty game object, so container, navigation, okay. So let's put this to 300 by 100 and also a position of 60. So so let me just change the pivot because it should be like this and put it like this because I think I press shift or option on my Mac and this mess everything. So in the container, what I will need to create, so let's create a container page. So let me create basically an empty game object again, and let's call it content. So content page, and basically this will content all my page. I will need to stretch this like that. So let me put 0, 0, 0. Okay, let me add component, and let me, because I will need an horizontal layout, so horizontal layout element. I want this to be in middle center. In the content page, I will need to create basically three content page. So let me create three game objects. So the first game object will be basically the previous page. So previous page. The second one, the second one should be, so let me control D. So the text for the current page text parent, like this, and previous page parent. And the last one, but not least, I want to, like that, not previous page, but next page parent. So all this with parent, because I will need it when I will show or hide the game object. So inside this, I want also to create basically an image. So let me create an image. So UI image. I want to be able to this image to stretch it. So like that. And also I just need to add an arrow over there. So I will call this one previous arrow. So previous arrow. And I will do the same for the next page. So let me paste this. So, and I want to, like that. I want to name this not previous but next arrow. Okay. Again, I want to stretch it. Okay. So 0, 0, 0, and 0. And also in the current page, let me add a Text Mesh Pro. And in the Text Mesh Pro, I just want again to put a number. So for the current page, again I will stretch everything like that. So again 0, 0, 0, 0. I want to center everything, and I want to put by default 1. We can change also the text, the font. So let me put Pacifico like that, and like that we got a beautiful page. So we can also, if you want, change the size of the font, but it's up to you. So I will let it with maybe 40, will be nice. Now we can save this, and we need to add our arrow, and at the end when we add the arrow, we'll be done with the setting up of our scene. So let me add the arrow. So let's go on the previous one, and let's type arrow like that. So we want, I guess, so let me just show. So we want this one, and for the next arrow, so again let's type arrow, and I will want the arrow right, like this. Okay, so now we can save this. Also, as we are in the scene, what I will need to do, so I will need to, so I don't need the drop down. I don't know why they are here. So let's create an empty game object, and in this empty game object, let's call it controller encyclopedia, because this will be allow me to attach the script on this game object. And also I want to create not a controller but a view. So a view encyclopedia. Like that we can attach the view. So last thing we need to do. So in the canvas, I don't need to add the parent thumbnail, because, so let me override this. So it's already override. So we can delete this because this will be instantiated in the controller. So basically we're done with the setting up of the scene. So this is how the encyclopedia will look, and we can type the research and do everything. And on the next video, I will show you how we can create what I call an API communicator. So basically it will be a static script who will allow me to make all the call I need to receive our to call our API to receive the data. So that's it, guys, for this video. I hope you learned something, and I catch you in the next video. Bye bye. Hello, guys, this is Kudo, and today we will continue our mini series on doing the Disney Encyclopedia. And in this video, I will show you how we can put the architecture in place for this mini project, and we will make the APA Communicator Encyclopedia. So let's get into it. So the first thing first, what we need to do, we need to create a script. So let's go on the script and let's create a C# script. So let's create a C# script and let's name this so API Communicator. So Communicator Encyclopedia. Encyclopedia. Like this. And let's open it in Visual Studio. So as you may notice, I changed Visual Studio by Visual Studio Code because I just learned recently that Visual Studio will be not supported on Mac on 2024. So this is why I make the switch. So don't worry, it is the same for Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. It allows me still to code in C#, so that's okay. So what we're going to do, we don't need the update function. We don't need also the start function. And what we will need to do, so we need to create private. So let's create a private and let's call it const. And this const will be a string. And in this string, we'll make base URL. So we'll see what is mean by base URL. And by right now will be equal to nothing. We can save this. And so what I want to do, I want to open the Disney API and let's see the documentation. So I already opened it in Safari. Let's just open it a little bit more like this. We'll take all the screen and let's see how this API works. So as you can see, the base URL will be http://api-disney.dev. Okay, this is the basic URL, and based on this URL, we can add some more. So as you can see, if I copy paste this, so if I put /character, so let's copy paste this and let's open it like that. As you can see, we got some information, lot of information of character. What I'm interested of is when I do /character, as you can see over there, we just get some info. So about the info, we got some count, and the count is 50. So basically, this count representing the number of character representing on one page. So for my purpose, 50 it's a little bit too much to showing on my based on the UI I made. So what I want to do, I want to be able to change this info. So basically, hopefully for us, on the documentation on API, we can see we can add some parameter inside this this API. So how we can make this API work? So basically, we'll scroll back, and as you can see, it say get one character. So this is what we've used for the previous video the simple way. So as we can see, the page size, the number by default is 50. For me, I don't want 50, I want 12. So let's see what's the parameter. So as you can see over there, we got some filter character. So this will be very nice when we'll make a research on our character. So we can type the character and we'll put the parameter name and we can research the character made by name. But what I'm interesting of is pages. So as you can see, nothing is showing over there. So don't worry, I got you for this. So basically, over there, they say page equal blah, blah, blah. So what I want to do, I just want to copy paste this. So let's copy paste this. And let's see what is happening when I do that. Page equal to 5. So as you can see, it's only say, okay, I retrieve the number 5 of the page on 50. I just want to have the purpose of this. I just want to have a 12 character representing on my page. So what I want to do inside the character, I want to put a parameter. So the parameter will be page size, and the page size will be equal to 12. Now let's enter and let's see how this is going. And as you can see, we can retrieve only 12 character inside the request. Okay, so now we get this. If I want to add maybe Mickey Mouse, so as you can see over there, if I put, so where is the thing? Where there it is. So if I want to add a character, maybe I want to search for some character Disney, I need to have the name parameter inside this. So very nice. So let's try this. So let's add a parameter. So I already put page size. So let's try to make so interrogation mark name, and this will be equal maybe to Hercules. So HER and press enter. So why nothing happened? This is very this is very interesting, because when I tried to put some parameter, what it did forget to put in the documentation is when I want to add another parameter, I don't need to use interrogation mark. So what I will need to do, I will need to move this name, so like this, remove the interrogation mark over there, and after the character, paste my research and add the end operator over there and press enter, and you will see how this thing will work. So as you can see, we got some more info about this, and we can also change if we want, maybe put Allah, so like Aladdin, like that, and we will get more result. And only because I want to put some more parameters. So this, the interrogation mark like this, allow me to add some parameter, and if I want to add more parameter, I will need to add the end operator to add the next parameter. So I hope you get it. So now we can head back to Unity, to Visual Studio, and let's code the requests we need. So basically the base URL as we spoke, so I just copy paste inside Safari like this, and let's paste this. Okay, this will be API Disney API dev slash, okay. And what we want to do, we want also to create, so let's create a private const string get, so get all characters, so all character URL, so URL, and this will be equal to my base URL, so base URL plus so the character, so character like this. Okay, so also I want to create, so again a private const, and this will be a int, and this int will represent so my page size limit, so page underscore size limit, and this page size limit will be equal to 12, because this is what I want to add. So you can change the number, but for me 12 is a nice number. So I will also make a getter on this page size. So let's create a private, so public int, and we call this get page size limit. So get page size limit, okay. And this will retrieve me so the page size limit, because I will need it inside the controller to check some stuff. Okay, and now we'll need to make some requests. So before I make some requests, what I want to do, I will explain how the architecture will work. So this is very nice, because I made a very nice, it's a big word, a very nice diagram, and I will explain it how this works. So basically, so like this. So this is how the sync will work. So we create the API communicator encyclopedia. So that's what we create. And inside this API communicator, we'll register all the requests we will need to do. Inside, we create a static API communicator inside the controller encyclopedia. We'll be able to retrieve the information and basically transmit the information for the viewer on the view encyclopedia. So I choose MVC architecture, and the model class just this thing will just retrieve all the model about the information we'll retrieve. So basically what I show you on the last video on the basic way. So let me show you quickly. So as you can see over there, this is what I call the simple way. So basically this will represent my model, and I will create the model based on this. This will be very, very easy. So, and the last thing is the view encyclopedia. So the view will basically retrieve all the info basically from when the user will type some stuff, maybe the name of the character, blah blah blah, and stuff like that, it will allow me to retrieve the input and say to the controller, okay, the user need to basically look for maybe Hercules, Aladdin, Rapunzel, whatever, and the controller will say, okay, let me check if by calling API communicator, let me check if I got this. So it will call the API communicator. The API communicator will basically retrieve the information. He will pass it in the model. The model will retrieve the controller, and the controller say, okay, I got this or I got that, and it will retrieve and will pass on the view encyclopedia. So I hope I make it clear. It's I like using MVC. It's one of the thing I like to put make architecture like this in my game. So some people don't like it. I like to put this. There are plenty other way to make this encyclopedia on Disney, but I choose to use MVC. So now let's head back to API communicator and let's see what requests we need to do. So again, I will use, because it's an advanced one, I will use a lot of callback. So let me create our first and basically the nicest request I like the most. So let's create a private, so private enumerator, and basically a enumerator, okay? And I want to call this get request. So get request. Why get request? Because I don't want to make all time the same code for getting a request. So I will use a generic one to be able to retrieve the request I want. So again, this is only a get. It's not a post or no put. It's just to retrieve some information. So let's create a string. So let's the string will be a URI. Okay, he will take in parameter a callback. So let's create a callback, and let's name it string. Put in parameter string, and let's name it so callback. So callback result result return. Okay, so basically this one will be by default equal to null, and let's put a boolean. So I will need this one. So is false HTTPS, okay? And this will be equal to true by default. So if you don't know how to force it, I make a video about it, so I will link the video in the commentary. You can check it. So if is forcing URL, so is forcing HTTP, what I want to do, I want to make so URL, so URI, sorry, URI will be equal to utils dot force HTTPS, like this, and we'll put in parameter so the URI, because sometime in the API, I don't know why, the guy and the people who code this put HTTP on some requests. I don't know. So this is why I need to make some checking and force the request on HTTPS. And after I force it, what I want to do something very simple. So let's say using, and I want to put Unity Web Request. So to be able to use Unity Web Request, what I will need to do, so I will need to add, using Unity Engine, so Unity Engine dot networking, okay? And inside the networking, so again, I will say Unity Web Request, so Unity Web Request, so web request, and what I want to call it, so same as same, so www, and this will be equal to Unity Web Request, so Unity Web Request of dot get, and I want to get the URI, basically this one. So again, I think you start to have it if you follow my tutorial. So what I want to do is a yield return www dot send web request, okay? And what I want to do, I want to check if the request is valid or not. So if www dot result will be equal to basically Unity Web Request, so Unity Web Request success, what I want to do, I just want to call my callbacks like this. So I want to say callback result return will be equal, so the system .net, so system.net web utility, net web utility web utility .html decode, and what I want to decode, so www dot download handler, so download handler dot text, like that. And what I want to do, I want to dispose, so dispose. If not, so else, what I want to do, I just want to debug, so debug debug.log warning, so debug.log warning. And what I want to warn, I just want to warn error get request, so plus URI, so sorry, plus URI, plus like this, and plus www dot error like this, and again plus www dot response code, like that. And I forget to add a plus over there. So maybe some of you don't know what is the meaning of systemnet WebUTT HTML G-code. It's because I'm building on WebGL for my project. You don't really need it if you're using Android or iOS. This will not work. What you can do is just do this instead. But because I'm building this project inside the WebGL, I will need this. Like that, you can also use this. It will work. So I can make a use case, but it's depend on you. So you can do that too. It will definitely work. So for me, I will just use this. So we can comment this. We don't need that actually. Okay, so now the get request basically is the generic one who will retrieve me what I want to do. So because I use a callback action. So after we do that, we need to make the request basically. So let's create all the requests I will need. So let's create first one. So the public void. So get all character. So character. And it will take in parameter a callback again, a callback. And let's add in parameter because it will retrieve me a string. So let's put string. And I will use callback result return. So callback, oops. So callback result return like this. And what I want to do in this callback result return, what I want to do is just put a string. So let's create a string URL API I want to use. So URL API will be equal to so get all character. So get all character URL basically. And it will just call our function. So start the coroutine. So start coroutine. And you will take in parameters, so the get request, and inside the get request, I want to use the URL API. And after, I just want to use the callback result return like this. Okay, so now we can save this. And maybe we can try this. So after, let me just create a very nice function. So let's create a private start void private void start function, void start function like this. Okay, and what I want to do, I just want to call the get all character. So basically, so get all character, it will ask for the callback. So let's create one. So like this, like that. Okay, and so let's put string result. Okay, and this string with with G, string result, and let's just debug.log the result to see if this work like that and like that. So now we can save this. We can head back to Unity and we can try it. So let's create an empty game object, call it test API like this. Let's add the component. So add API communicator encyclopedia. Save this and let's see if in the console everything working. So I know why it's not working. I just misspelled character. So let me change this very quick. So character. Don't make the same mistake as me. So now save this. Let's head back to Unity and again let's run it. And you will see all the JSON retrieve like this. And voila. So I think you got the principle. So I will advance. I will head back to Visual Studio and advance on the code to show you which all the requests I will need it. And after we can end this video because I don't think it will be interesting to show you everything. So I will just advance the video and you will see all the requests and I will make a resume on it. So see you in a bit. So okay, I just finished to make all the requests I will need it. So I just change also the page size limit. I make a mistake by making a Z over the E instead of a E. Also, I make request and not request. I forget the E. So let me sum up everything. So this will allow me to get a character by ID. This one will allow me to get character by name. So it will be very useful when I will search the name. So this one will be able to get character by name with limit page size. So this one I want, so not 50 but 12. Also this one we get all character with limit per page. Again, this is the same URL that's it with the parameter of 12 and not 50. So this one will allow me to go on the previous page, the previous or next page with the search, and this one will allow me to go on the next and previous page without the search, because this will differentiate. You can see the difference. So this one have a parameter of a name, and this one don't have a parameter with the name. So this is two different URL I need to handle. And the last thing also always is always the start coroutine, and basically the only thing change is the request. So also what I can do, a lot of people can say this to me, I can only make a function and put an enumerator over there and choose whatever what request I want. But for me, it's better to have a solo function like that. I'm not confused with all the things. But you can basically create an enumerator with all your requests you want and put this and choose whatever you want, because a lot of times the only thing change over there is just the URL, because always the get request will need a callback with the parameter of a string, and the URL of the string, and a callback with the string. So that's it, guys. So I hope I make it clear with all the API. We made the test with the get all character. This work. I remove the start function, and that's it. So on the next video, I will show you how we can make in place the controller and the viewer, and we'll almost be done with this mini series tutorial with advanced code and clean code. So that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. And I guess I'll catch you guys next time. Bye bye. Hello guys, this is Kudo. And today we'll continue our mini series video about making a Disney encyclopedia based on API. So in this video, we'll focus on the model classes and start to implement the controller and also the view classes. So let's get into it. So first thing, what I will need to do, so I will start to create 3 scripts. So let's create the first one. So it will be, so model class generic, so generic encyclopedia, so encyclopedia. All right. I will also need to create, so let's also create the controller. So let's create a controller, so controller encyclopedia. Okay. And I also want to create a view. So let's create a view encyclopedia. So encyclopedia. So basically it will based on the MVC model I explained on the previous video. And now let's open model class generic encyclopedia. Okay, so in these classes, what I want to do, so I don't need the update and the start function. Okay, we can remove this. We don't need the mono behavior. And what I want to do, I also want to add some using namespace. So let's add using system. So using system. Okay, and now let's create our JSON classes to be able to deserialize some field. So remember in the simple way, I deserialize basically directly into here, like that. So it was very easy, but I want something very nice and maybe I can reuse for my other project. So this is why I call this one model class generic encyclopedia. So what I want to do, I want to put here a parameter, so t, like this. Don't worry, I will explain what is t basically. And I want to have some conditions, so where t is classes. Where t is a class. So basically, it will allow me to make an inheritance of this class on my other class, and I will put this parameter of this class, and we can use basically this this code over there on my other classes. So let's create a public static t, and let's call this one deserialize. Okay, and it will take in parameter a string. So a string, let's name it JSON, because basically this is a JSON I want to deserialize. And what I want to do, I want to make a try catch. So let's try. So we'll try to deserialize basically the JSON, and let's return. So return JSON utility. So JSON utility dot from JSON, because we are deserialized from a JSON, from the object, from the classes t, and we want a JSON. Okay, so just like this, and I want to add a catch. So let's catch if we are failing to try. So let's put debug.log log maybe warning. So log warning. Okay, and let's put deserialize. So deserialize failed for the object, and let's put the JSON of the object, and we want to return null. So return null. Okay, like that, and don't forget the semicolon. Okay. So basically here it's the same as here. So just the only difference is, instead of putting a specific classes, I just put t, so I can pass whatever classes I want. So this is why it's very nice to have this little generic stuff. So this is why I don't like this way, because it's too much specific for me, and this can be used in any class and any other project I want. So this is very nice. So this is why I make this video especially for this type of code. So we can save this, and basically what I want to do, I also want to create the model. So basically, remember, the model was based on this. Remember, we got the data simple way, the info simple way, and the character API response simple way. So what I want to do, I just want to copy paste this. Okay, so let me just copy paste this like that. And what I want to do, I just don't want to, I want to rename the classes. So this one should be datum. So let's rename this. So datum character. So character. Okay. The other one, so the info simple way, let's rename this info. This is why I change basically the name over there, because I don't want to misunderstanding with this new tutorial. And the last one, let's name it so character API response again. And what I want to do, I just want this to be inherited from the model generic class encyclopedia. And as you can see, I got some error over there because he wants me to add a parameter. So the parameter will be the character over there. So because he is waiting for a classes. So just let me put this over there. And what I want to do here, I want also to rename take the other classes, so info, and this one the datum datum character. Okay, just I just want to, because datum is over there first, like this. Okay, we can save this, and I think we are good right now. Okay, so remember in the other video we were able to retrieve the JSON because it it was only handling one character. But right now, if I try to make a request, so if I just basically try to call this API, so this one, so get all characters. So let me head back to Safari. So for example, let me just copy paste this with some parameters. So let's add the parameter of the page size 12 like this, or maybe even page 3, for example, maybe 3 like this. Let's save, let's open it. And as you can see, we got only 3 characters, but basically in the count, we got 3 objects of character API response. 3 characters like this. So sometimes the datum character is a list and sometimes is a single object. So how we can deal with that? So again, I will show you if I head back to Safari, if I put only one like this, it will retrieve me not a list of objects, but a single object. And this is annoying because we need to deal with that. So why, how we can deal with that? So to be able to deal with that, what we want to do, we want to put data, not a datum character like this, but right now we will put t. So if we put t, we need to specify what is t. So to be able to do that, we want to add again here another unknown object over there. And also here, we want to add t. So like this, inside this JSON, like that, we want to add t. Because we don't know what we want to deserialize on the data. We don't know if it's if it's a single object or if it's a list. So this is why we need to have some generic thing. So I hope you understand how this thing works, but don't worry, in the controller, in the next video, I will show you how this thing will work. So if you don't understand this, do not hesitate to comment this and I will be glad to answer you. So now we can save this and we start to basically making the controller and the viewer. So we can right now, I don't need the update function, but what I want to do, I want to have a singleton of my controller. So let's create a private, so static controller encyclopedia. So controller encyclopedia, and I want to create basically the controller encyclopedia. So controller encyclopedia like this, and because it's it's a static, so I want to put like this encyclopedia instance. Okay. And also what I want to do, I want to create a public static controller, controller encyclopedia call instance. All right, and inside this instance, what I want to do, I want to make a getter. So basically, I want to get, okay, and inside the getter, what I want to do, I want to check if, basically, if the controller encyclopedia.instance encyclopedia instance equal to null, we want to instantiate it. So what I want to do, I want to make a controller encyclopedia, so encyclopedia instance will be equal to find object. So we'll try to find object of type, so find object of type, and we want the type of, so type of controller encyclopedia, so controller encyclopedia like this, and as a controller encyclopedia, so as controller encyclopedia like this. And what we want to do, we just want to return the controller instance, so controller encyclopedia instance like this. And don't forget this. So now we can save this, and I will do the same for the view encyclopedia. So let me just copy paste this because I don't want to waste any more time. Let's open it like that. We don't need the update function. Okay, and what we want to do, we just want to copy paste this and let just me like that, like that, like that. Okay, oops, sorry, like that. and view encyclopedia instance. Okay, like this, okay. And this will be very nice because I will need the singleton to be able to call this in the other function. Okay, so let's advance. So on the controller encyclopedia, what I want to do, so I want to create, so let's create a private, so again, private, static, again, because API communicator encyclopedia. And let's name it this one, API communicator, so communicator encyclopedia. So next thing I want to do, I want to create so a private void awake function, okay? And what I want to do in the awake function, I want to basically add the API communicator and create it. So this will be equal to this dot game object dot add component, so dot add component, and I want to add it the API communicator. So API communicator encyclopedia, like this, and like that, I got a reference for the API communicator. Okay, so next thing we want to do, we want to create a functionality to be able to receive the data. So let's create a private void received, so received data, and it will take in parameter a string. So let's put in parameter a string, and this string, let's name it callback result. So callback result, callback result, and we want basically to call the callback, the API via the API communicator. So let's try an example. So let's create so a character. So I want a character API response. I want, so this is important. He will add. It will need to add the type we want. So basically, I want a list. So I want a list of datum character. So datum, list of datum character. Okay, and let's name this list response. So list response, and this will be equal so character response, character API response of again. So we'll take the list of characters. So list list, and we want again a character datum, character datum. Where is it? No, sorry, it's datum character. So datum character, and it will basically deserialize the thing. So deserialize, and we want to deserialize what we just received from the callback. And what we want to do, we just want to debug. So debug.log. So debug.log the callback. So now we can save this and let's try it. So to be able to try it, let's go on API communicator, and let's say, for example, I want to try this one. So maybe this one. So get all character with limit per page. So I want to call this one. So let's head back here. Let's start it. So I want to call the API communicator encyclopedia dot get all character with limit per page. It will ask in parameter basically a callback with the result. Again, the callback result return. And this is very nice because we have the callback over there. So receive data. We'll put in parameter receive data. And we call this in the start function. And basically, it should return our JSON parset. So we can save this. We can head back to Unity and add the controller encyclopedia on our scene, and let's see what is happening during the console. So let's clear that. Let's add the controller, so controller encyclopedia. Okay, we can save this, we can hit play, and let's see the magic happen. So as you can see, we were able to retrieve basically all the character, basically 12 of the first character and we got 620 page to run. So this is very a lot, but we just retrieved the 12 first character on the 612 pages. So 620 by 12 will give me a number of the character in Disney. So that's it, guys. So for this part of this video, in the next video we'll try to understand how the difference in here to make the difference between the list and the single object. This is very important. I hope you get this part because this is one of the most important thing for the model. And if you don't know, again, if you don't understand how this will work, don't worry. Do not hesitate to comment this video and ask some question, and I think you will get it on the next video when I will make the difference between a single object and a list of objects. Because again, this is what the API return me, because sometimes it only return me one object, sometimes it return me a list of the object. This is how the guy from the API from Disney code this. Maybe I think it's nice because we all need to handle this. But if you don't know this method, it is very nice and very powerful and very generic. And I like when something is very generic, when you can use it outside of this project. So I hope you learned something, and I guess I'll catch you guys next time. Bye bye. Hello guys, this is Kudo, and today we will continue about the mini-series about Disney Encyclopedia. So last time I let you with this, so when we hit play we were able to retrieve a lot of information from the Disney API, and now today we'll implement, so when I will type on the search bar something, and when I press enter or if I press search, it will be able to retrieve and show me the character on Disney. So let's get into it. So the first thing we need to do, so let's head back to our project and let's go on script and let's open the view encyclopedia. So let's open it. And what we want to do, we want to add some new parameters. So let's serialize some fields. So let's serialize some field and let's add, so private game object. So let's create a game object. So game object, and we want to add the panel. So panel content info character. So basically this will represent my panel where I store all the character. After, what we need to do, so let's serialize some field and let's add private the search bar, so the tmp underscore input field, and what we want to add is input field, so input field search bar, so search bar. Okay, we'll take this chance to add the previous and the next page, so basically the game object. So serialize field, serialize field private game object previous page. Okay, and last thing, so serialize field, and let's add also, so private, so private game object next page. Okay, and last thing we need to add is again another serialize field, and let's add, so private, this time text mesh pro, so text mesh pro UGUI current page text. This will allow us to follow everything when we change the page. So this is just a preparation for the next time. So also what we need to do, we need to have a reference for our panel. This will be very important for the next thing we'll follow. Also, so let's create this. So let's create this. So let's create a public game object. Let's name it get panel content, so content info character, and we can use body expression like this, so nice to have. And next thing we need to do, we need to able to track what the user put in parameter inside our input field. So what we want to do, we want to create a local variable, so generic variable, so private, so search, so let's name search text, and this will be by default equal to nothing, and for sure don't forget to put a string because it will be a string. And now we can create basically, so if I head back to Unity, as you can see on our search bar, we got different type of on value change, on edit, on select, etc., etc. So I will use this to be able to track what basically the user is typing. So let's head back to Visual Studio. Okay. And what we want to do, we would just want to create some other function. So let's create a public. So I will just move this because it's kind of a getter. So let's put this here. It will be more beautiful. And let's create a public void and on value change input field search bar. Okay, like this. And what we want to do, we just want to make search text. So search text will be equal to text or to value. Okay, and we want to do the same for the edit. So public void so on value and edit. So and edit input field search bar string value. Okay, and what we want to do, we just want to make search bar again. So search text will be equal to value. Also, what we want to create, we want to be able, when he submit his text, we want to be able to call the API to be able to search. So we'll prepare the field for this. So let's create a public void on press enter submit. So enter submit like this. Again, it will take in parameter a string, so string, and we call this value. And basically, in this function, again, we'll say search text. So search text will be equal to value. So now, what we want to do, we can head back to Unity and let's drag and drop our functionality and our serialized field. Let's go on the view encyclopedia and let's add for first the script, and let's drag and drop the object referring to what I just declared. So panel will be panel, input field will be the search bar, previous button, so previous, where is previous, so where is it, container navigation, like this, so previous page, so not parent, but so previous page, and same thing for next page, like this, and current text with this, and like that, we are good to go. So also in the search bar, what we want to do, we want to add our functionality. So basically on the on value change and on edit. So let's drag and drop the like this and like that, and we want to call basically the function, so on value change input field search bar, and also on value change and edit, so and edit input field. And what we want to do on the search bar, on the search button, we also want to add, so like this, the functionality. So where is it? So view encyclopedia, and I think I forget to basically create the function for the search button. So basically we'll head back to Visual Studio, and let's, for this function is basically for when I press enter on the submit on the input field, and this function will be executed. So let's create another function. So on click search button, so on click search button, and right now this function will don't do anything because we didn't code in the controller what it should call for be able to retrieve the information. So we can save this. Now we can head back to Unity and drag and drop the function. So where is it? So let me just, like this, will be here, search button, add it, and view encyclopedia, on click search button. Okay, so now we just set the view encyclopedia. So now what we want to do, we want to be able to, when basically I type something, So right now, basically, it registers. So let me show you. So if I put a debug over there, so let's put debug.log, so debug.log, and we want to show the search text, so search text, and I will do the same for the end value like this. You will see in the console basically what is happening. So let's head back to Unity. Okay, and now if I hit play and I start typing some stuff like this, okay, as you can see, it's registered. And even if I going out of the input field, as you can see, the text I type is registered, and we can, like this, search for something. So one thing to add is when I'm in the input field, for example, if I tap this and I press enter, I want to be able to submit basically what I make. So to do that, so let's head back to Visual Studio. I will put a link in the description. I already make a video on how this will work. So we want to use the extension method I made. So I will show you how did I made it. So let's go on util classes. So util classes, and basically I already make an extension method over there to be able, when I press enter, to be able to call this function. So what I want to do, maybe in the start, so yeah, maybe in the start, let's copy the input field. So let's make input field search bar dot on submit, so on submit input field GMP, and he will ask basically a callback. So, and basically we already make a callback, so on press, so on press enter submit. And like this, if I save this and I head back to Unity, you will see when I hit play and I type maybe test like this. So as you can see, it registers over there. But if I press enter, as you can see, we just got the test and we are outside the function, outside the input field. So this is set up. So now we need to use the controller to be able to retrieve the information. So let's head back to the controller. So let's head back to the controller encyclopedia and let's add some modification on it. So the first thing we need to do, because we want to have everything on visual, so let's serialize some fields. So let's serialize some field and let's create private game object, so game object, and let's call this thumbnail, so thumbnail and name, so thumbnail and name, character prefab, so character character prefab, okay, and basically this will use what we did in the first video. Also, what I will need to do, so I will need to create another classes to be able to handle when I receive the data on the thumbnail and character object. So let me just quick fix this because I think I misspell it. Character, like this, prefab. Okay, and so let's head back to Unity and let's create basically another classes to be handling all the data I receive. Again, if you don't remember, the prefab is this. So basically our prefab contain a text, contain our cycle, and contain a name. And we need to be able to handle this when basically we receive our thumbnail and our name from our Disney character. So to do this, so let's head back to the script function, script folder, and let's create a C# and let's create this view character. So view character, so character, and let's open it again in Visual Studio Code. So what I want to add, so I will need the Text Mesh Pro, so using GMP Pro. I will need to using also Unity Engine, so Unity Engine.ui. because I will need to handle some image. And what I want to do, I need to add some serialized field. So let's create serialized field. So let's serialize some field. Let's create private image, and this will represent our profile picture. So profile picture of our character. So picture of our character. So character. Okay. What I want to do, I want to add also private text mesh pro UGUI, so text mesh pro UGUI, and this will represent the name of our character. Also, I will need to handle one thing, so serialize some fields, so because sometimes we don't have any sprite. So basically, I will need to change the sprite on the image. So sprite, let's create a sprite, and this one will be no picture found. So if we don't have when we retrieve the character thumbnail and text mesh pro, if we don't have any thumbnail, we'll say no picture found, and this basically will show another picture of not found. Okay, I hope I make it clear. Okay, so now what we want to do, we don't need the update and the start function. We just need to, so let me erase this like this. We need to create some function. So let's create a public void apply, so apply data received, so received, so receive, so received, and it will take in parameter a datum character, like this. So datum character received, so received. And basically, what we want to do here, we just use, we want to use basically the datum character received and download the image from the URL we just add. So basically, I want to use a start coroutine. And again, if you don't know how to download an image from web, I will put a link in the description. I already make a video on how to do this. So I will use again the util function. So download image from web, and basically I will use datum character receive. So datum character receive dot image URL, basically the URL from the image, and we'll need to create. So sorry, we need to create basically a function to be able to apply the download image. So right now we don't have this, so let me just create this function. So let's create a private, so private void apply sprite to picture character, okay, and it will take basically a sprite, not we can name this download sprite, but rather use sprite character, so character, and we call this inside our callback over there. So let me copy paste this, and like this we just be able to retrieve and apply our image from the character. Also, what I want to do, I want to create a function to be able to apply another type of data, so basically the text. So let's create a private void apply text to name character, and it will take in parameter string and name character, and basically I will say name character dot text, so dot text will be equal to name character. Also, because we'll be able to retrieve a lot of data and we want to reuse the same instant prefab, I want to be able to clean some data. So what I want to do, I want to create a public void clean all data, so clean all data. And inside this function, I want to have profile picture, so profile picture character dot sprite will be equal to not this but null, like this, because like this we empty the profile picture, and also name character dot text will be equal to null. All right, so let's apply text like this. So don't forget parentheses over there, like that. So apply text, and we want to use datum character receive dot name. So now we can save this, and we need to code our function to be able to apply the picture. So basically what we want to do, we just want to say sprite character. So if sprite character again, sorry. So if sprite character equal to null, so equal to null, like this, what we want to do, we want to say sprite character will be equal to not picture found. So not no picture found. Okay, and if it's not null, what we want to do, we just want to say profile picture character dot sprite will be equal to sprite character. Now we can save this and we can head back to the controller encyclopedia. And in the controller encyclopedia, what I want to create, because I will need it, I want to create a private list. So private list of our basically view character. So view character, and let's name this so view character. So view character will be equal to a new list of view character. Let's head back to Unity, and inside the prefab, so let me find the prefab. So inside the prefab, we need to add basically the view character and drag and drop basically the profile picture, etc., etc. So the profile picture basically will be so the character face like this. So name character will be the text, and the not found picture. So let me show you. So everything is on the GitLab. You can find everything. So let me just put PNG on this sprite like this. Apply. And inside the parent, we just want to drag and drop our sprite over there. So basically, it's just 444 not found from Disney with Wreck-It Ralph. Nice. Okay, so we almost done with the view part and the view encyclopedia. Now we can head back to our controller, and inside the controller I make the list. Basically it will instantiate the list for our character. To be able to do that, let's install the start function. So let's create let's create instantiate character UI. So let's create a private void instantiate, so instance view character UI, so character UI, and you will take in parameter int the size, the page size limit, because we want to be able to only right now 12, but you can add it more if you want, but by default I will use 12, so size limit. Why I put this in parameter, because again, in the IPA communicator, I make a getter over there, and you can change it if you want. And this is why I put this in parameter, because if you want to change, you just need to only change on the API communicator like this. And what we want to do, we just want to do a for, and we want to int e equal 0, and if e lower than page size limit, so page size limit e++, like this. And what we want to do, I want to say view character, so let's name it VC, will be equal to instantiate, so instantiate, and it will take the thumbnail character prefab. The transform will be equal, remember I put a getter on the panel, this is here it will use. So let's say view encyclopedia, so view encyclopedia dot instance dot get panel content, so get panel content info character, and I will use his transform, and I will use the get component view character on it to be able to add also get also the view character on it. What I want to do after, I just want to say vc dot game object dot set active not equal to true but false, because we don't need it right now, because we don't get any character, but we start to instantiate it. And also what I want to do, I just want to basically on the view character list to add my character I just instantiated. So we can save this, and we can call basically this install the start function. And inside the start function, what I want to do, I just need to add the new parameter, and the new parameter will be basically equal to, so API communicator encyclopedia dot get size get page size limit. So why is not happy? Does not contain. Okay, I think I misspell it. Get page size limit like this. It's like this. Okay. All right. So now we can save this. We can head back to Unity, and if we just hit play, nothing will happen. But I mean, nothing will happen if we hit play. Basically, it will instantiate. So I got null ref. So oh yeah, I forget to add the prefab. So let me fix it quickly. So let's again prefab, and let's drag and drop this inside like this. Now we can save this, and if I hit play, you will see basically all the character basically instantiate. So we can see in the panel here all our prefab, if I may say, of our character. All right. So now what we want to do, we just need to be able to retrieve our data. So last thing we need to do inside the controller, what I want to say is instead of using this receive data, let's try to retrieve at least one data. We don't basically need that anymore. And we want to create for our research button. So let's create a receive data. So we already add one. So we start basically with a list. So let me just create a if statement. So if list response dot data dot count is upper than 0, we want to handle all the lists. So basically I want to do current oh yeah, I forget one more thing. Inside the declaration over there, I will need to add, so let's create a private info because I will need it, and I want to say current info, so current info received, because we need to know what type of info we just received. So again, if I head back to the received data like this, so let's current info received, so will be equal basically to the list, so list response dot info. So basically we just transfer the info, and what we want to do, we just want to apply basically the data we just received. So to do that, we want to create a new function. So let's create a function, let's call it private void apply received data of type list, and it will take in parameter basically a character API, so character API response, and now we need to type the type we want to receive. So this time, because I'm using a list, I will use list, and let's name this characters, because we receive a list. And what we want to do, we just want to put a for, so for int e equals 0, so instead int e equal 0, while so e lower than the characters dot info dot count, we want to e++, like this. And inside this, we just want to basically call our function. So the function we want to use is view characters of e, and we want to say dot. First thing we need to do is clean all data, because we don't know if it's the first time or it's another new time. So we want to clean the data from our view character of E. We want to say view character dot of E, and we want to use basically we want to set active. So we need to set active our game object. So dot game object dot set active will be equal to true. And last thing, I think you already see it with Kodi extension. So a view character of E, and we want to apply basically the receive data from the character data E. And just let me rename it because I think I misspell it like this, like that. And what we want to do, we also want to, so we need to handle all the view character that is not basically used, because let's say the first time we will receive 12 character. That's awesome because we got all the 12 character. But if I just research and I got just only 3 character, because we didn't handle the last 9, the last 9 will be remaining. So we need to handle this. So to be able to handle this, let's create private void. So let's create deactivate. So deactivate useless thumbnail. So thumbnail and name character UI. So name character and UI. And it will take in parameter a int. So basically the data received the data received for one page, for one page. Okay. And basically what we want to do, we again want to do a for, but reverse for. So let's create a for, and we want to say int e will be equal to view character.count. So view character.count -1. And if e is lower or is upper or equal to data received for one page, e minus. We want to reverse basically the view character list. And what we want to do is here, we want to say view character of E dot game object dot set active will be equal to false on the second time. And we want to say also view character dot E and clean the data. And we just need to call this. So let me just quick fix this. Deactivate. So deactivate useless like this, and we need to call this here over there, and it will take in parameter basically the character data count. So character dot data dot count like this. Now we can save this, and basically we need to apply. We need to call the apply data data list. So I think you guessed when we'll call this. We need to call this basically in the receive data like this, and it will take in parameter the list response. Okay, and again, two more things, and we'll be done with all the setting up kind of for this video of receiving and handling the data. What I want to do is to be able to handle the received data. So to do this, we need to create, so let's create a public search character. So basically this will handle the search character, and it will take in parameter. So let's create a public void search character. So it will take in parameter basically a string user search text. Okay, and it will say inside this search character, I will just say, so API communicator, so API communicator encyclopedia dot get character, so get character by name with limit size, and it will take in parameter a callback. So basically the callback will be the receive data because we'll receive the data, and the user search text like this. So we don't need this because we already inside the get character by name we already set the size, so we don't need to again repeat it here. Again, if I head back to the get character name, this is the API call. And this, if I head back to the view encyclopedia, will be called inside the onPress enter. So basically I will just need to do controller, so controller controller can't remember. Controller encyclopedia dot instance dot, and I want to use the search bar and with the search text like this. And this is how you can use the MVC controller. So this is basically the main purpose of the video and the main purpose of this mini series on how we just separate the logic and the code. So here it's only handling the view. This is normal. It's calling view encyclopedia, and this is all the logic is created over there. So this is how powerful it is to use MVC. But we don't finish yet because we need to handle multiple cases. So now if I head back to Unity and we try to type something, so let me just press play, and let me just press, for example, let's say for searching Meg inside in Hercules. So let's type Meg. Let's press enter, and as you can see, everything is retrieved. So we didn't handle all the navigation, but this will be in the next video, and we don't handle the case when we only receive one character, because this is a list of characters. But how awesome is it to use API, and with one thing, when we code everything, we just retrieve anything. So as you can see, the character have also Meg inside the name. It's normal because we just search for Meg. And again, some of the characters don't have any profile picture, or the profile picture is not good set. So we just use 404 to say we didn't get it. Okay, so I think this video is long enough. So we'll see. I will see you in the next part of the video, and I guess the last one. For now on, if you got any question, I know it's kind of complex to understand everything and how everything is working, but trust me, this is a very powerful thing, and it will help you to use your code. And if you want to add more functionality to it, the MVC pattern is very, very nice and very, very powerful. So I recommend to use it even on your small game or small project on any type. Definitely use it. It's very nice to have it. So if you got any question, do not hesitate to comment the video. If you like the content and if you learn something, subscribe. It will be very nice, and thumb up. It will be very nice and very. I will be very happy on it. Don't forget, everything is on the GitLab. So the GitLab again is open, and I think it will still get open. And that's it, guys. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you learned something, and I guess I'll catch you guys next time. Bye. Hello guys, this is Kudo, and today in this video we'll continue and hopefully finish the mini-series about Disney Encyclopedia. So last time I let you with this, so basically we were able to search some characters. So let's go on the input field and maybe tap Herc, and you will see all the characters corresponding with Herc. Also, the thing we didn't handle is what if we just, so let me clear this. What if I just type Hercules like this and press enter, as you can see, nothing is showing, nothing is refreshing, because right now we only handle the case when we receive a list of datum character. This one we only receive one. So we need to handle this case, and also we'll finish and finish this tutorial by being able to basically navigate between pages. So let's dive into it. So let's open Visual Studio Code. And as you can see over there, we got receive data. So we just handle the case when we receive a list of data. But what if, as we can see, we didn't receive a list of data, but only an object? Let's put a else, so else like this, and let's try to finish to code this. So in the else statement, what I want to do, I want to declare character API response, and this time I don't want to instantiate type the T generic with a list, but with only a datum character. So let's datum character like this, and we'll call this single response, and we want to deserialize this field with the callback result. Okay, so now what we want to do is if single response dot data dot count dot data different than null, what we want to do, and also if single data response dot info dot count equal to 1, because we only handle one character receiving, what we want to do, we just want to basically say current info received will be equal to single response info, like the other one with the list, and we just want to call a function by applying data received, not data list, but single list. So let me create quickly this function, and we want to basically create this function. So here, so let's make private void apply data received apply received data single. Okay, and we want to put in this a parameter of character API response character, like this. So in here, what we want to do, we just same as the other one, but not putting a for. We just want to basically copy paste this. So we want to clean the data, but we don't want to clean the e data. We just want to do 0. So like this, we just want take the first one, because we know we only got one character. And also what I want to do is over there, let's add character data of 0. Okay, we need also to handle to deactivate the other useless thumbnail. So again, we'll use this function like this, and we want to put in parameter character info. So character info. Now we can save this. So we now need to call this inside this function, and we want to put in parameter basically single response. Okay, and if we don't have a single data is null and single data is different than 1, what we want to do, we just want to put else, and we just want to debug something. So we want to debug.log warning, and we just want to say didn't find any character. Okay, and also we just want to reinitialize some variable. So we want to say current info received equal to null, and also again deactivate the thumbnail. So deactivate thumbnail, and again we'll put in parameter single response dot info dot count. Now we can save this. We can save and head back to Unity, and let's try again to search for a particular character like this. Let's hit play. So as you can see, if we type Hercules, it's only one character in Disney. We can enter, and you will be able to retrieve it. And if we search for Hercule like this, you will be able to retrieve all the character. Also, if we just again search for Meg, I think it's Meg, Megara, I guess. Let me just make Mega. I can't remember. Or let's try to search for Aladdin. So Aladdin, like this. And as we can see, didn't find any character because I think Aladdin is 2D and 1L, I guess. Sorry for the... I think it's like this. All right. So now what we need to handle is to be able to navigate between the page. So let's do this. And with that, we'll be almost, and I guess, finish this tutorial. So let's head back to Visual Studio Code. And under the search character, let's create another function. So let's public void, and let's name it next character. So next character with search, because this is very important. So search, because with search, and it will take in parameter a string, and we'll say user search text, like this. And so for this, what I want to do is API communicator. So API communicator encyclopedia dot get next page. So get next page with search, and we want to put in parameter receive data, user search text, and also in this function we need to have the string of the next page wanted. But the issue with that, the current info, so if I go to info, we got next page, we got previous page, but is inside the string, inside the URL. So we need to be able to trim this, basically this string. And by the way, it's not here object, but it should be string, like this. Sorry for this mistake. And we need to be able to trim this previous and next page. And basically, because we got a search page, all the info is inside our URL. So we need to be able to trim this this URL. So what we want to do, we need to go to our util classes, and basically let's create a function. So let's create a public static int, and we'll call this one, so extract. So extract page number, and we take in parameter a string URL and also string to look. And basically inside this function, string to look, like this, and quick fix extract, like this, and you will need to return basically a int. So what we want to do, we want to say try. So we'll try to do something, and in this try, what I want to do, so I want to say string local URL. So we'll store the local URL, and the local URL, so URL, will be equal to my URL I just passed in the function. Also, I want to store a int index. So int index will be equal to local URL dot index of. So we'll look for the string we want to trim. So string to look. So string to look. Oh, sorry. Just string to look, like this. Okay. And what we want to check is if index is different than -1. What we want to do, we just want to extract the result. So to do this, we need to say string substring. So let's create another variable. So substring will be equal to local URL. So local URL dot substring, and we want to sub the string based on the index plus string look dot length. So after that, what we want to do is find the index of the text, find the index of the next non-digit character. So to do this, what we want to do is int end index. So end index will be equal to 0. So again, we create another variable, and while, well, let's put a while. So while, okay, while end index, so end index is lower than sub string.length and not this and sorry, it's Koji again, and car dot is digit, so is digit of substring and indexed. What we want to do, we just want to say an index plus 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 like this. After this, we need to extract the numeric box. So again, we'll create a string page number string. This will be equal to substring, so substring dot substring of 0 and index. And after this, we just need to parse our result. So to do this, we just want to say if int, and we want to say try parse, so dot try parse of a page number string, and we want to out the page number like that. And we just want to return the page number like this. And I think I add, yeah, like this. And if we are not able to do this, what we want to do, we just want to return -1. So return -1 like this. And if the try is failing, we just want to catch. So we want to catch the system.exception. And we want to return again -1. You are not obligated to put the extract page number in the util, but because I'm using it, it's like, for me it's okay. But you will be fine if you put it in the info. So I guess it's here. So you can create the function over there and create the function over there and call it here. So after this, what I want to do, so let's create a public. So public int, and right now we want to say get next page, so get next page, and in the get next page we want to use a budgie expression, and we just want to say util doc extract page number of next page, and not question mark but only page equal like this. And we will do the same for basically the previous page, so get previous page. And again, here we want to put previous page of pages. So now we can head back to the controller where we left with the current info like this. And we just want to basically indite this. So current info received. And we just want to say get next page. So get next page dot toString like this. Oops, sorry. Dot toString. String. Sorry, no parentheses because it's a budgie expression. And I will do the same for the previous page. So let me copy paste this like that. Next page, previous page, previous page. So get next previous page, receive data, blah 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 blah. And not get next, but get previous page like this. So just let me just quick fix this. So search like this and search like this. Please put a quick fix on it. Search, okay. Last thing we need to do, so we need to call this function basically in the view encyclopedia. So in the view encyclopedia, so let's find our two onClick function. So basically we didn't create it, so let's create our two function. Let's create a public void onClick next page like that, and create again another public void onClick previous page. And we just want to call, so controller controller encyclopedia dot instance dot next page character with search like this, and we will put in parameter search text. Okay, and same for the previous page, like this, and not next but previous. And also we'll do also the on-click search button, so same for this one. So like this, I will just copy paste this like that. Okay, so now we can save this, we can head back to Unity. Okay, so I don't know why, but it seems that on the container navigation, previous arrow and next arrow, you don't have any button, so we will remediate it of this. So let's add button like this, button, and what we want to do also on the next page, we want to add a button, and we just want to add basically via the view controller, where it is, view encyclopedia, we just want to call the function onClick next, so onClick next page, and onClick previous page. So let's add this, and like that, onClick previous, where is it, like that. So now we can save this, we can hit play, and we will see. So if I type Meg like this, we press enter, and as we can see all character, and if I press next, as we can see, we be able to see the character. So now we need to also to handle, because it's the last page of Meg, we need to remove this arrow. And same when we try to search, when we look on the first page, we don't need to see the first arrow. So basically, if I press again the next page and again the next page, he will blow me an error, because it will not be able to retrieve -1 or +1 or -1 HTTP request. So to do that, to handle this, so we can clear this, we need to handle basically the navigation UI. So to be able to do this, let's create in the view encyclopedia, so let's make a public void navigation. So let's create this navigation page UI handler, and it will take in parameter an info. And what we want to do, we just want to say previous page.setActive, and basically this will set active if so the string is null or empty. So string is null or empty of info get previous page, or because it's a string, so only previous page, like this. Also, we will do the same for the next page. So let me just copy paste this quickly, like that, string null empty of next page. Okay, and let's put next page, like that. And what we want to do, we need to handle some different case. So if string dot is null or empty of info page, or info not previous but next page, and string dot is null, so is null or empty of previous page. So what we want to do, we just want to say current page, so current page text. So this will allow us to basically upload the text between the two arrow. So current page text will be equal of just we just want to make the number, so we don't need to use page like this, and info, we just want to say info so get previous page +1, and we want to make a toString of it, like that, dot toString. Okay, Also, we want to do the same. So else if I think is this. So string is null or empty of info page, okay, and string is null, okay, previous page, okay, and we'll do the same. So except of this one will be equal to not plus but -1, and if both of them are empty, so if both of them are empty, we just want to say current page dot text will be equal to 1. Equal to 1. Okay, so now we can save this, and we need to call basically this function inside our controller, and we will call this so UE handler. Let's just UE like this handler H, okay, and we want to call this in the controller, so let's call it in the apply data list and apply data. So apply data list, where is it? Over there. So let's say viewer encyclopedia.instance.navigate UE handler, and it will take a parameter, a character info, so character dot info. And also we want to call this also inside the data single over there, and this will be a character without s. Now we can save this, we can head back to Unity, and let's see the magic happen. So we can hit play. Again, let's look for maybe, I don't know, Hades. Let's enter. And as we can see, the arrow is disappearing because we only got one page. But if I maybe look for, again, I don't know, maybe, again, I'm not inspired this night. So let's try to look for Meg. So I don't know why it's put -2, but if I, okay, and if I get previous, I got -2. So let me quick search why it's doing this. So I think I found the bug. So it's over there. So it's not get previous page, but get next page. So this is why we don't need to copy paste everything. So get next page. Now we can test again. So let's save this. Let's head back to Unity. And again, let's try with Hades and Meg. So let's try to Hades. So like this, we can find 4 of them. And if we type Meg, okay, or Med, so as you can see, we don't have any error over there. Next, we got only the last page, and we only left 2. And if we head back, we only have 1. So that's it, guys. So that will be the end of this mini series tutorial. I hope you learned something. I know it's not easy to understand every concept I put here, but trust me, if you try to understand this and try to apply it on your game, it will be very helpful and very nice to use, and it will change your life and change your, not life, but change your way to think, how to code. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you learned something. Do not hesitate to subscribe and thumb up the video if you like it. Also, again, the GitLab is open. You can find all the code and all the source I put in this mini series tutorial. Also, feel free to buy me a coffee to help me, because it takes me a long time to do this tutorial, write everything. So it will be very, very nice to you. If you got the money, of course. If you don't, it's okay. It's still free. And voilà, I hope you enjoy this mini series. I enjoyed to do it, and I enjoyed to write it. So I hope you learned something, and I guess I catch you guys next time. Bye bye.